Okay, good morning once more, grade 6. Today we are having a heritage studies lesson. Today we are going to talk about transport and communication. Transport and communication. That's what we are going to talk about today. Transport and communication. Who can tell us what transport is? What is transport? Because we use it every day. I don't know about now that there is corona, but we use it almost every day. Yes, Tabo, what is transport?
Transport is is something that goes with you anywhere you want.
Thank you, Tabo. So if I go with my phone, is it transport? That's
Right.
Yes. Yes, now you can explain more. Yes, Tabo.
Like cars, buses, trains, and airplanes.
Thank you, Tabo. Thank you, Tabo. Tabo has already wrapped up the whole of our lesson. That's what our lesson is all about. Thank you, Tabo. Thank you, Tabo. Transport carries people, animals, and goods from one place to another, okay? It carries us from one place to another, okay? So if you use that, what we call it? We call it imola in Ndebele. If you use that, it's transport, okay? Yes. There are many forms or modes of transport. We can be taking that down. There are many, we want to talk about modes of transport. Let's talk about the modes of transport. You might be asked to state the modes of transport, okay? You might be asked to state the modes of transport. All right. There are 6 modes of transport, okay? We know that we have buses, we have cars, we have trains, we have all these types of transport. But they all get under the mode of transport, okay? We classify them, we group them, and then we place them under there. The first mode of transport that we're going to talk about is land transport. Land transport. Land transport. Land transport is self-explanatory because it is transport that is used on the land, okay? And also we have 2 types of modes of transport. We have road transport under the land transport, and we have rail transport. So, Mr. Tabo, can you tell us the modes of transport that go under road transport now? Which ones are under road transport? Yes, Tabo?
Cars,
Cars, yes. Buses.
trains.
Trains, no, trains, they are not under road. Trains will go under rail. Okay, yes. So under land transport, thank you, Tabo, that's good. So under road transport, we have buses, we have cars, we have the lorries, the trucks, okay? These are used, these use road transport. In Zimbabwe, road transport is the most, okay? So if you are asked, you can be asked to say, in Zimbabwe, which one is the main type of transport that is used? In Zimbabwe, we use road transport. Who can tell me why in Zimbabwe we mainly use road transport? Because we are what? We are a what country? There's a word that starts with an L. What is it? Yes, Shadrach?
We are landlocked or waterlogged.
Good. We are landlocked. That is correct. Zimbabwe is a landlocked country, so we mostly use road transport. We are landlocked. Also, road transport, it links the very small places and big places. If I want to go to town, I can use the road. If I want to go to Harare, I can use the road. Do you understand? Road transport is widely used because it is diverse. You can use it using short distances or long distances. You can use road transport. You can use a car, you can use a truck. Even if I want to go to South Africa, I can still use road transport. Do you understand? Because the roads are there. There are many of them, and roads connect countries to countries. They connect cities, they connect small towns, they connect rural areas, they connect urban areas. they connect a lot of things, okay? Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now let's go. And also with roads, what type of roads do we have in Zimbabwe? What type of roads do we have in Zimbabwe? They start with a T. What type of roads do we have? They are dash roads. They have this black thing on top of them. What is that? It starts with a T. Tyrone spent time. They are tarred, yes. Is it Tyrone who is responding?
Yes.
Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, Tyrone. We have tarred roads. In Zimbabwe, we have tarred roads. These tarred roads are referred to as tarmac roads. In your level, you might hear them saying, what are tarmac roads? Tarmac is T-A-R-M-A-C. Tarmac is also the same as tarred. T-A-R-M-A-C. So you might be asked, what are tarmac roads? These are just tarred roads, okay? So in Zimbabwe, we have tarred roads, and these tarred roads, they connect people. We are connected from Cape to Cairo, okay? The whole of Africa is connected using these roads, okay? We are connected with road transport. You can move from Zimbabwe, you go to South Africa, from there you go to Botswana, connecting using roads only. From Botswana, you can come back through, you move to another country, Mutare, you go to Mozambique, you come back, you are using a road. Road transport is the widely used transport because it connects big distances, longer distances, short distances. It's widely used. The land transport, we also have rail transport. Tabo has already explained about that. Rail transport is a preferred mode to carry heavy loads in Zimbabwe, okay? In Zimbabwe, the trains, they carry heavy loads, okay? Let's say like coal. You cannot take coal and put it in a bus, okay? If you put it in a bus, people who are going to develop asthmatic problems and lung diseases. So we prefer the railroad to transport some heavy things, okay? It is also cheaper. Rail is cheaper. It is cheaper than the road. If you want to go to Harare using a train, it is cheaper than using the road. It is much cheaper, but the disadvantage is that it is very slow, okay? You can take a day or 2 nights to go to Harare using a rail, okay, using a train. You can take 2 nights to go to Harare, while if you use a road, people prefer the road because you get there faster. Okay? Also, rail transport is safer than the road. It's a bit safer than the road because there are no crashes there. There is always someone who is maneuvering the whole system of the rail. So it is more safer than the road where you have accidents that happen a lot of time. But it's not always when you hear that there's a train that crashed somewhere. It's been years and years since a story like that has been written on the newspaper or something, but we hear about crashes of cars happening every day. Okay, let's go to our second mode of transport, air transport. Air transport. Who can tell me about air transport? What is it about? What do we find under air transport? Yes, Tabo?
We find airplanes or helicopters. They fly us to different countries.
Thank you, Tabo. That is self-explanatory. Good. Aeroplanes, helicopters, they fly us to different countries. Nowadays, even the air transport is used. If I want to go to Harare, I can use air transport. Who can tell me the advantage of air transport? Who can tell me an advantage of air transport? Why is air transport?
It's rare to have accidents.
Sorry, Tyrone?
It is rare to have accidents.
It is rare to have accidents. Thank you, Tyrone. Something else about air transport? Any other advantage of air transport? Yes, Shadrach?
It's faster.
It is faster, yes. People say from here to Harare is 40 minutes, just 40 minutes. The person can go to Harare and come back. You are still trying to eat your saka. The person is back. Do you understand? Yes. So air transport is much faster. Tabo, did you have something else to say other than what Shadrach and Tyrone have said about the advantages of air transport?
Yes, I heard something about airplanes not using a lot of fuel.
Yes, thank you. They also don't use a lot of fuel because with the air transport, the aeroplanes are made by something called aluminium, okay? It enables the air transport to move, to save, and all of that, all of those things. Anyone who has been in an air transport before here? Not just to sit inside, but to actually move in it from one place to another. Mrs. Mlotshwa has only been able to sit in it, but it has not been able to fly with her inside it. I can see, Tabo, you have been in an air transport.
No.
What about Mr. Spencer in air transport?
No.
Okay, all right. I hope the next time when we have our lesson on transport, someone would have flown with an aeroplane from one place to another. Okay, and also air transport, the disadvantage is that it is expensive. It is the most expensive type of transport. People pay US dollars to go to Harare. Just to go to Harare, you pay 150 US dollars just to go there. And this is not a return ticket, okay? You are just going, you are not coming back yet. It is expensive. That's why you see that if there's a relative who stays overseas, like in the United States of America, they cannot come from time to time to come and visit here and there. We see them once in a while, never in a year, because it is expensive to buy, to get an air ticket. It is expensive. Okay, and also that's why air transport is only used when people are traveling from countries, from one continent to another, not exactly countries, from continent to continent. When I move from Africa to Asia, okay, it is mostly used when people are moving from one continent to another, okay, yes. And also it is said that air transport has lesser accidents, like what Tyrone said. There are less aeroplanes that crash than road and rail. Our third mode of transport is water transport. Water transport. That's our third mode of transport, water transport. Tabo, your hand is up. Yes, water transport. Yes, Tabo.
A submarine.
A submarine. Thank you, Tabo. A submarine, a boat. What do you call them? If they are not boats, if it's a bigger one, a ship. Yes, a ship, submarines. Yes, these are used water transport. Okay, Zimbabwe does not use water transport a lot. It's only used on Lake Kariba. Who can tell me why? Why is it that we don't have water transport? Let's say I want to go to Harare, maybe I can just go into a ship and then I go to Harare. Yes, Tyrone?
Because we don't have much water in the country that we can travel with.
Thank you, Tyrone. We don't have much water, okay? Zimbabwe is landlocked. We don't have a lot of water. The only water that we can get, we only have our Lake Kariba there. That's where we have water. The rest of the places are dry. We don't have any water. So we are landlocked. You might be asked to say, why is it that, let's say, why is it that people don't use water transport in Zimbabwe? You should be able to support your answer and say, it's because Zimbabwe is landlocked. We have less water. We only use it in Lake Kariba. That's where it is used. And also even there in Lake Kariba is not as much. People just use it for cruising and yeah, just for tourists, for tourism mostly. Just for tourism, for people to cruise around and the falls there, Zambezi Valley, just for them to cruise. But for big things like even for traveling, it is not used more. Yes, and also Zimbabwe relies on the ports of its neighboring countries, such as the Port Beira. We have in Mozambique there is a Port Beira. Okay, that's where we have you seen people who buy cars from Japan or buy cars from other places? Those cars, they come through the ports, like Port Beira. That's where they come through, and then from Port Beira they get to Mozambique, and they use road transport to transport things back to Zimbabwe. Okay, so we make use of ports. The next mode of transport is a pipeline. Pipeline. This is an additional mode of transport. Pipeline. P-I-P-E line. L-I-N-E. A pipeline. P-I-P-E-L-I-N-E. A pipeline. A pipeline is used to transport liquids and gases, okay? It is used to transport liquids and gases. It is used to transport liquids and gases. Who can tell me any type of liquid that we can transport using a pipeline? Any liquid we can transport using a pipeline? Yes, Tabo? Sorry?
Water.
Water. Thank you, Tabo. Another, something else that we can transport is Shadrach?
Petrol.
Petrol, yes, that's true. Anything else that we can transport using a pipeline? Oil, even oil, okay? We can transport oil because if you notice that there are some countries which don't have a lot of water, they might use that pipeline to transport. Even in our country in Zimbabwe, okay? In Bulawayo, we get water from Mzingwane and all that. Yeah, right. Mzingwane is a bit far further from Bulawayo, but you find some urban areas getting water from there. The pipelines are there to assist that. We get water, water goes through the pipeline and it comes out through the tap. We use the pipelines, even oil. Oil is used as well, okay? There are some countries that are rich in oil and there are some cities that are rich in oil. They transport oil using pipelines. Even petrol is transported using pipelines because petrol is inflammable. If you transport petrol on land, you might risk the danger of destroying other things. So using the pipeline is safer, okay? Using the pipeline is safer. All that petrol that you can see coming out from a petrol station, they would have dug the pipe underground, okay? Just as a form of measure of protection, because petrol is inflammable. It is a fuel. It has to be handled carefully with care. Our last mode of transport is space travel. Space travel. Space travel. SPACE, space travel. This type, I am not really familiar with it because I've never been to the space, but we understand that there are some people who have been to the space before. Tabo, you had something to say before I explain more? Yes, Tabo?
They're using rockets to go to space, and there are different kind of wells in space.
Yes, they use some rockets. We understand that there was, we understand from science and technology that there is the solar system, right? Where we have the Earth, a lot of planets around. So we know that people have been to the space to look at the satellites, just to look at the planet, the Earth, its planets. We know that there are some people who have been to the moon. By the way, who is the first man on the moon called? What was his name? The first man on the moon? Mr. Spenton, please assist us with that one.
The first man on the moon.
Man on the moon.
Can you give me a clue?
First man on the moon. Starts with an A. N. His name starts with an N. Is anyone who knows the first man on the moon? He is traveled. Yes. Neil Armstrong. Yes. Please go and research also. There is the first man on the moon and there is the first woman on the moon as well. Please go and research about these people because space travel, people have gone to the moon, right? When we talk about science and technology, we talk about the satellite, we talk about the planets around the Earth. My very earnest mother, this Mars, the Pluto, and all that. Someone has been to the space before using space travel and managed to get to see the satellite and came down to tell us that the Earth is round, it is spherical, it has things, the sun is hot, it is far away from the Earth. You know, all those things we have been told by someone who managed to develop a mode of transportation called space travel. Like what Tabo said, rockets are being used for people to go to the space. Let me read this for you on space travel. They say it is mainly common in developed countries such as America and Russia. In Zimbabwe, so far, no one has been able to go to space. But in America, someone has been able to go to space. And also, it is only trained personnel make space travel a reality because there are many challenges to overcome. Not anyone can just use space travel, like what we use with the road, the rail, and the aeroplane. There is no discrimination on that one. When it comes to space travel, there are certain people who are allowed to use it. Some scientists who study this space thing, they are the people who are allowed to use the space travel. It's not everyone who can just use it, okay? Because some people go there and they don't come back, okay? It is not an easy travel for people to go to space and come back. If there's a mistake that happens, you can be blown and you can just die before you come back, okay? All right. And also, I said one of the greatest achievements in space travel is the use of satellites for communication purposes. Who has watched these type of movies where there are big satellites that are put up there? These Fantastic Four movies. Yes, yes, yes. I can see Shadrach, you've seen it. Even you, Tabo, please can you tell us what you have seen? These satellites that they give us view of the what you call it, the space. Yes, Tabo.
Satellite. They were building the satellite. They were saying that the satellite will move into space, but there were some tests that went wrong.
Yes. Have you
The
seen the
satellite
satellite in the space there? Yes. It will be something big, you know, like the satellite dishes that you have at home, these ones that help you to watch DSTV. Yes, but it's much bigger. It's a much bigger. If you watch these Universal Channel movies, they always remove the satellite first, the earth, the ball, the earth as it is, and there is their big satellite with meteorites around it. That is the space there. That's what we have. We have a satellite up there that helps us. Do you see when you are able to call someone in the United States of America, Tabo? That is a use of the satellite. Shadrach, is there something you wanted to say?
I'm not remember actually what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I, satellites, they they help us to they help us people speak on the phones
They help us to?
to like when we are calling someone.
Yes,
They're the
yes,
ones which help us calling.
yes, yes. That's good, Shadrach. Thank you. Remember when you talk
Like the dish that's on the roof there when you want to
Tyrone,
connect your DSTV or
so
something on the roof.
may you repeat
That's,
yourself again, Tyrone?
I'm saying a satellite.
Yes,
Are you talking about the satellite dish or satellite from space?
the satellite from space.
Okay.
Yes, yes, the satellite from
Well,
space.
it helps. The satellite from space helps people that are in
Helps people that are?
space communicate with people that are on land,
Okay.
on Earth.
Yes, it helps people that are on like what both Tyrone and Shadrach are saying. It helps us to communicate. When you have this WhatsApp call that you call, you are able to call someone in the UK. There is a satellite that is up there that helps you to transmit. Okay, there's transmission of some messages that are being transmitted as electricity that can go for you to be able to connect with someone who is in the UK, and even the television set that we watch. Okay, for you to be able to watch something for this DSTV that we watch movies from other areas. It is because of those satellite dishes that are in the space thing. So the space traveling helped us to develop such kinds of things. Even these phones, this is what technology is all about. Googling and all that, when you're able to get information from somewhere else, that is a use of the satellite. Tabo, your hand was up before we close our discussion. Yes, Tabo?
Saying satellite can can recharge itself by the satellite can recharge itself by the movement of the
Yes.
earth.
Yes, as well. That's good, Tabo. As the earth is rotating as well, we are able, the satellite is also able to help us to connect we are able to connect. I hope you managed to enjoy our lesson on transport and communication for today. I've already uploaded work for you. Please, can you go and check? I will send you something for you to check all the missing work that you haven't done, okay? Go to your name and then you check for the work. Make sure you update all the work that you haven't written. Happy birthday once more, Shadrach. I hope tomorrow you are going to enjoy yourself, okay? Keep the cake for us, okay? We are waiting for it, okay? All right, let me give you a chance to say goodbye. I can hear Tyrone is laughing. Tyrone wants that cake, Shadrach. I know he loves the cake. Please don't give him. Give me his share so that I can have it to myself there. Okay, so let me give you a chance to say goodbye to one another before we close our
Bye, Shadrach. Bye,
lesson for
Shadrach.
today. Bye, Tyrone. Bye, Shadrach. Bye, Tabo. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, don't forget Tabo again next week, okay? Same time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, Shadrach.
Bye, Tyrone. Bye, Tyrone. Bye.
Yes, sir.